My name is Ethan Miller. I lost 5 years of my life. 5 weeks ago, I woke up in a hospital room that smelled of antiseptic and sterile fear. The pain in my head was a blinding, white-hot iron behind my eyes, but it was nothing compared to the other sensation, a profound, yawning emptiness, a void where my recent past should have been. Dr. Roberts, a man with a kind face and tired eyes, explained it to me gently. There had been an accident. A car, a rain-slicked road, a collision with a guardrail. The physical injuries were healing, but my memory had fractured. I had lost 5 years. The last coherent memory I possessed was of my 27th birthday. I was a young architect, my veins humming with ambition, having just opened my own small, hopeful studio. The world was a blueprint waiting for my pencil. Now I am 32, and, as I was to discover, I am a married man. The woman who sat by my bedside, her hand often resting over mine, called herself Olivia. She was beautiful, with a quiet elegance and eyes the colour of sea glass, eyes that held a deep, settled sadness in which I desperately tried to find some spark of recognition. But even her name, Olivia, elicited nothing. No flash of warmth, no echo of affection. It was just a name. She was a beautiful stranger who looked at me with a tenderness that felt like a weight, a debt I couldn't remember incurring. We returned to a house that was meant to be our home. Every piece of furniture, every book on the shelf, every photograph on the walls was a new artifact from a life I didn't own. I would stand for minutes, staring at these frozen moments, Olivia and I laughing on a sun-drenched beach, our skin tanned, us wrapped in each other's arms before the silhouette of a Scottish castle, a silly selfie in a kitchen I didn't recognize, flour dusting her nose. We looked like the perfect happy couple. Yet I felt nothing but the disquieting sensation of being an archaeologist, studying the intimate remains of someone else's joy. Dr. Roberts advised patients that memories could trickle back like water through a cracked dam. Olivia was the embodiment of that patience. She filled the silence of our home with stories, painting the missing years with her words. She told me about our meeting at a contemporary architecture exhibition. "You argued passionately about the merits of deconstructivism," she said with a soft smile, "and I found your passion infuriatingly attractive." She spoke of our travels, our shared dreams of building our own house one day, a project I had apparently already begun sketching for. She cooked my favorite meals, a mushroom risotto I had no recollection of loving, a specific brand of spicy curry that she said I was obsessed with, and the most disorienting thing of all was her intimate, effortless knowledge of me. She knew I took my coffee with too precise sugars, that I tapped my pencil in a specific staccato rhythm when deep in thought, that I had a secret, enduring love for 80s rock ballads I thought I'd outgrown. And against all odds I began to fall in love. Again. It started with a hesitant affection for her laughter, which was like the sound of wind chimes. It grew with her unwavering care, the way she would instinctively hand me a pen when I was thinking, before I even realized I needed one. It solidified with the quiet, formidable strength she exhibited in navigating this nightmare. I was falling for the woman she was now in this present fractured reality, but with this new love came a terrible, gnawing guilt. I felt like a traitor. My mind kept drifting to the other Olivia, the woman I had supposedly loved for 5 years, the one whose memories were intertwined with mine. I felt I was being unfaithful to her, to my real wife, by allowing these new feelings for this present-day stranger to grow. The emotional dissonance was tearing me apart. One evening, overwhelmed, I confessed this to her, my voice thick with shame. She didn't pull away. Instead, she took my hand, her grip firm, and her eyes, those deep sea-glass eyes, welled with tears. "Ethan," she whispered, her voice steady but soft. "Have you ever considered that the Olivia you loved then, and the one you're looking at now, are the very same person, and that your heart might simply be finding its way back home, even if your mind has lost the map?" Her words struck a chord that vibrated deep within my soul. Yet they couldn't silence the other, more troubling narrative that was beginning to form. The mystery was a splinter in my mind. I recalled the doctor's initial, offhand remark that our relationship had been going through a difficult patch before the accident. I began to notice the subtle fissures in our perfect, reconstructed life. Sometimes, when she thought I wasn't looking, the gentle mask would slip, and her face would settle into an expression of profound, weary sadness. A week later, Driven by a compulsive need to know, I ventured into the attic and found a cardboard box tucked away behind old suitcases. Inside were not just mementos, but two separate, unused plane tickets to Paris, dated a month apart. And most haunting of all, on the back of a framed photograph of us, from what looked like a happier time, was a line written in her elegant cursive. I forgive you. Always. What happened in those 5 years that I was forced to forget? What transgression required such a profound written forgiveness? What storm had we weathered that left such wreckage in its wake? And what would happen when, or if, the dam finally broke? Then one Tuesday morning it happened. I was making coffee, and a sharp, stabbing pain lanced through my temple. The world swam, and a memory fragment, raw and vivid, exploded behind my eyes. Olivia and I were in this very kitchen, but the air was thick with anger. We were shouting, our words sharp and meant to wound. Her face was contorted in pain, tears streaming down her cheeks. I saw my own hand clenched into a fist, slammed down on the kitchen counter. Then, a sensory overload, the frantic swish of windshield wipers, the glare of oncoming headlights on wet asphalt, my own panicked turn of the steering wheel, and the terrifying metallic screech of brakes. I gasped, my eyes flying open. I was on the floor, the cool hardwood against my cheek. Olivia was kneeling over me, her face pale, her eyes wide with a terror that was more than just concern for my physical well-being. Ethan! My God, Ethan, what is it? What did you see? I looked at her, truly looked at her. This woman I had fallen in love with twice. This woman with whom I had built a fragile new happiness amidst the ruins of a past I couldn't remember. This woman I had, according to that shard of memory, hurt deeply. And I understood the most terrifying truth of all. I am no longer afraid that my memory will never return. I am afraid that it will. Because what if the returning tide of our past, with its arguments and pain and betrayal, washes away the delicate new foundation we've built over these past weeks? Can you construct a new love upon the ruins of the old? Is it strong enough? The truth is waiting for me in the darkness, a ghost in the machine of my mind. I don't know if I am ready to face it. I don't know if our new love is a beautiful lie or a second chance made purer by the forgetting. But I know one thing with a certainty that eclipses all fear and all doubt. I do not want to lose Olivia. Not the one I loved then. Not the one I love now. They are the same, and she is my home, whether I remember all the roads that led me to her or not.